Hi, everyone. My name is Timothy Mitchell. I'm with Mimaki. I am sponsoring a wonderful event that if you have any interest in textile, digital textile, and you should have an interest in digital textile, because I believe it is the most robust and growth-focused market in the world today in digital printing. Anything that can be made into an SEG frame will be made into an SEG frame, but that's just the tip of the iceberg on digital printing for fabric. You have natural fibers, you have trade show printing, you have sportswear, you have decor, really, and you have UV options. So the sky's the limit on what you can print on. What I want to show you at this event is how do all these pieces come together? Like, what are they all? I mean, because it's a lot of complex working parts and it's not clear to everyone how it works. And my fear is some people want to get in this industry and then they get a lot of information that doesn't make sense and it seems complicated and it's got a bunch of equipment I have to order. We're going to demystify it, unpack it, make it clear so that even if you decide, hey, I'm going to wait, which I think is a mistake, at least you know who to talk to when the time comes. You know who to reach out to and say, hey, can you help make some recommendations? This is where you'll make all your connections. Which brings me to my guest today. I'm here with Margo Montoya, who is the expert from Coldenhove paper. Did I pronounce everything correctly,
You did.
Margo?
You did.
Okay.
You did perfect.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and also Coldenhove paper and what your title is and everything else like that, if you'd be so kind.
Yeah. Well, I joined Coldenhove almost 4 years ago, and I am the North American account manager. So I manage all of North America and Canada, and I manage the sales for our line of dye sublimation paper, as well as Texcool. And I've been in the print industry for a very long time, and I was in front of customers selling SEGs and selling the beautiful print quality of a fabric print. And then I moved over to this side of the business, which has been completely different and very eye-opening, exciting. And Coldenhove, we are a manufacturer of dye sublimation paper. We operate out of a mill in Eerbeek in the Netherlands, and we've been doing it for a very long time, making paper since the 1600s. And then bringing dye sublimation to the market, we were the first to do that. So we have a really great history, and I am. It's an honor to work with the Coldenhove team. We have some excellent scientists and a great team.
Well, fantastic. It sounds like you have an impeccable pedigree. You're like, coterminous with the invention of the printing press practically, So. And I'll vouch for the material. I have used Coldenhove throughout my career in sublimation, and I find it to be consistent, excellent, outstanding. Like I don't worry about the paper in my workflow when I'm trying to troubleshoot something. I say, oh, Coldenhove paper, that's locked in. So it's probably coming from somewhere else. So that's not the usual place that I start because the paper is so consistent. The coatings on it are so consistent, and I know what I'm getting. And that's what I love about the product. And we're super eager to have you guys come because transfer paper is, as I understand it, in the US, transfer to paper as a technique for sublimation is much more common than, say, Europe, which might do more direct printing. Does that seem to be the case in your observation?
I think it's really about what you're printing for, to
Okay.
be honest. So what's being printed on in South America and what the industry is down there versus what the Europeans are doing. So I would leave that to you for your expertise in that. But the majority of the printing I'm seeing is and talking about is dye sublimation. It's
okay. Now, you guys, as I understand it, Coldenhove produces paper in a lot of different widths at all kinds of different weights. So pretty much any type of sublimation you're likely to do, you have a solution for it.
Correct.
Go ahead.
So yes, you're right. So we have in the North American side, and we're doing a lot of soft signage. We are running about 105 gram paper. We recently came out with an extreme sign, a 70 gram paper,
because,
yeah, end users were asking for lighter weight papers. So the 105 is a little heavy, but it's forgiving. If you put too much ink down, colors, consistency. However, the 70 is incredibly absorbing when it comes to high ink loads, and it dries very quickly. So we are focused on soft signage, but we still have a lot of folks who produce different things like blankets and personalization. So they're using our lighter weights like our 57 and our 66. It depends on the application, but if a customer comes to me and I have a couple questions for them, we just ask a couple of questions to see what they're outputting to make sure we dial in the right paper weight.
Okay. So obviously we would want to encourage people, if they don't know what paper to choose and it's a mystery to them, it would often be a good idea to reach out to you or one of your sales associates and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. What do you recommend I choose for a paper?
Yes, that's exactly. It's kind of my favorite job to do, really. Honestly,
Okay.
if I get a phone call and they're like, we want this much paper and here's when we please send it here. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. But when someone says, I'm doing this, I want to save some money, or I want more saturated color, or these are the problems I'm coming up with, those are my favorite calls because I can actually, troubleshoot with them and add some value. So yeah, we have a lot of technical expertise at our company that I can lean on. And a consultative conversation is something I always welcome.
Fantastic. Well, we're looking forward to having you at our big event. I think I know that you're going to be part of all of the presentations. So Victoria has an early presentation on the Trappist. Tell me a little bit about the specialty paper for Trappist, because as I understand it, that's a Coldenhove exclusive. Like that's your innovation technology.
Yeah, pigment transfer paper. So
yeah,
pigment
that's pretty
inks,
cool.
right? So we are still using paper. We like paper. So you're still going to be using paper to transfer pigment ink onto natural fibers. So the kind of polyester issues in the world right now, when it comes to garments and housewares and homewares, people are, they want to kind of lean more towards natural fibers. So we've come up with a solution. You guys have been excellent partners. So what started as a pigment transfer paper product for home decor is now happening in the fashion world. So all our customers are making garments, beautiful garments. So you're looking at a better color gamut. You're looking at a waterless process. The footprint is just so small. The investment financially is much smaller than typical your standard pigment printing. So it's exciting. I hope that I know you guys are going to draw a really great crowd, and you're incredible partners. So you have the press, the paper, you have
yes,
it all.
we do.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I think the what we call Trappist, using your paper. There's a lot of people that I would argue are like, hey, I already have a 3.2 meter printer and I have a 3.2 meter press and I'm doing trade show graphics. And my thought is, I bet you're not doing natural fiber. I bet you're not doing decor. I bet you're not doing really cool linen and cotton where you're making into things like lampshades and pillows and throws and tapestries. And that's high end and it looks beautiful. And you can get into this game now without the huge investment, and you can do it quickly and add that to your dye sub line. So now your salespeople out there can look at an entirely new market. And that's kind of the things we want to show at this event is, hey, it's not just sublimation. There's a lot of other, well, in this case, it is sublimation, but it's sublimation with pigment, which is completely different than what people have been doing before.
What I like, what gets me excited is the diversification that we can offer our customers. They can do more now with a small investment. They can go into a completely different market or a complementing market.
Exactly. I mean, you need the printer, the paper, and the press. And, choose a nice fabric that makes sense for you and you're in business. And the cool thing about Trappist is you don't have to have specially coated fabric. I don't have to go and make sure it's coated for me, often irregularly, or invest all the time and money to coat it myself. All I need to do is choose some fabric that makes sense and load up the paper.
You also don't have to train your staff. if you're doing dye sublimation, you can do this process too, because it's almost exactly the same.
Exactly. I like a lot about it. Well, look, I don't want to take all your thunder because there's a whole Trappist presentation, which we're going to do at the event. There's a whole Tiger presentation where we're going to show end-to-end workflow. And then in my presentation, I'm going to go through all the steps from web to print all the way to frames and finishing and everything in between. And then we're going to have time also for all of our customers to talk to the people in 2 big breakout sessions. So you'll get to ask all your individual questions that you have. And we'll serve a heck of a lunch, and hopefully some nice wine to finish.
I think that you guys investing in this and really giving people some hands-on tools and really dissecting the process to make everybody better, I think it's really awesome. So thanks for allowing us to be a part of it. I'm excited.
Thank you. You're a platinum member, you're on the board, it's you're an essential and integral part of what we do for a workflow, because without really high quality paper and the innovation that you've contributed with the text call, we wouldn't have Trappist. So thank you so much. All right, I will see you at the end of the month.
I look forward to it.
Day before Halloween, I'll be there early. Take care.
Okay, take care.
Bye.